Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Tony, and today we're diving into some short stories. Now, before we get started, I want to ask you a quick favor. If you're enjoying what you see, please hit that subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And while you're at it, give this video a thumbs up, it really helps the channel out. Alright, let's jump right in. The Academy buzzed with the anticipation of the annual Spring Showcase, a pivotal event for aspiring singers. Alara, despite her ethereal voice, trembled at the thought of performing. Reese, her fellow student and secret admirer, saw the brilliance hidden beneath her anxiety. He believed her voice was a gift, a melody waiting to be unleashed. Their story began in the practice rooms, where Reese would patiently coax Alara out of her shell. He'd accompany her on the piano, his baritone harmonizing with her soprano, creating a sound that filled the room with magic. He'd tell her stories, make her laugh, and slowly, her fear began to recede, replaced by a fragile confidence. Professor Thorne, a man of rigid standards, noticed the change. He saw the spark in Alara's eyes, the newfound strength in her voice. He challenged her, pushing her to the limits of her abilities, preparing her for the showcase. Reese, ever supportive, was her anchor. As the showcase drew near, their bond deepened. They spent hours rehearsing, their voices intertwining, their hearts beating in unison. The love between them blossomed, a quiet, passionate melody played only for each other. The night of the showcase arrived. Alara, dressed in a shimmering gown, stood backstage, her heart pounding. Reese, performing just before her, delivered a breathtaking rendition of a classic love song, his eyes fixed on her. He ended his song and gave her an encouraging smile. Alara stepped onto the stage. The spotlight shone, blinding her momentarily. Then she saw Reese in the audience, his eyes filled with unwavering belief. She took a deep breath and her voice soared, filling the hall with a purity and power that stunned the audience. The stage fright vanished, replaced by the sheer joy of singing, and the love she felt for Reese. Her performance was a triumph. The audience erupted in applause. Professor Thorne, his stern face softened, nodded in approval. Alara, glowing, took her bow, her eyes meeting Reese's. However, tragedy struck swiftly and unexpectedly. As Alara exited the stage, a lighting rig, loosened by a faulty mechanism, crashed down. Reese, seeing the danger, pushed Alara out of the way, taking the full impact himself. The hall fell silent, the joyous atmosphere shattered. Alara, horrified, rushed to Reese, who lay unconscious. He had saved her, sacrificing himself for her. Days turned into weeks, and Reese remained in a coma. Alara, heartbroken, spent every moment by his bedside singing the songs they had practiced together, hoping her voice would reach him. One evening, as Alara sang a particularly poignant melody, Reese's eyes fluttered open. A faint smile touched his lips. He whispered her name, his voice weak but filled with love. But his recovery was not to be. After a few precious moments, his heart gave out. The melody stopped. Alara was left with only the echo of his voice, the memory of his love, and the profound realization of his sacrifice. The story teaches the ephemeral nature of life and the immense value of every moment. It emphasizes the importance of expressing love and appreciation while we have the chance. It highlights the power of courage and selflessness, and the lasting impact of genuine love. It also shows that the most beautiful melodies are often born from vulnerability, and that true love is often a sacrifice. The echo of love and the impact of our actions can last long after the music has stopped. The pale pre-dawn light bled across the eastern horizon, painting the steel and glass towers of the Chicago skyline in hues of soft lavender and rose. Below, on the concrete ribbon of the expressway, a river of red and white taillights snaked its way into the heart of the city. Inside a slightly dented Honda Civic, Maya gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white. The air in the car was thick with the lingering scent of burnt coffee and the low hum of NPR. It was Saturday morning, but her weekend had started with a frantic call from her sister, an emergency plumbing issue requiring Maya's handyman skills, which mostly involved a wrench and a healthy dose of YouTube tutorials. The traffic even at this hour was a restless beast, constantly shifting and growling. Semis lumbered in the right lanes, their trailers emblazoned with the names of faraway places. Sleek SUVs weaved aggressively, their drivers already late for brunch or a suburban soccer game. Maya stayed in the middle lane, a small island of calm in the swirling current. The expressway itself was a character in this urban drama. The elevated sections offered fleeting glimpses of the city waking up, the rhythmic clatter of Anl train, the distant glint of Lake Michigan. The underpasses plunged them into temporary darkness, the roar of engines amplified by the concrete walls. As the sun climbed higher, casting long shadows, the pace of the traffic intensified. Horns blared impatiently at minor delays. Maya watched a young man in a beat-up pickup truck drumming his fingers on the steering wheel, his face etched with frustration. She caught the eye of a woman in the car next to her, a shared glance of weary resignation passing between them. This was the daily ritual, the collective groan of a city getting started. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the congestion eased. The cars ahead began to spread out, and Maya could finally see the expanse of open road. She pressed down on the accelerator, the little Honda responding with a grateful surge of speed. For a brief moment as she merged onto the exit ramp, a sense of quiet descended. The roar of the expressway faded behind her, replaced by the gentler sounds of neighborhood streets. The city, for all its hustle and bustle, held pockets of peace. Maya took a deep breath, the tension in her shoulders easing. The plumbing issue still loomed, but for now, she had navigated the concrete veins of the city, another Saturday morning soldier on the Chicago Expressway. The skyline, now bathed in the full light of day, stood tall and indifferent, a silent witness to the endless flow of life within its boundaries. The persistent drip, drip, drip echoed through Leo's apartment, a mocking counterpoint to the quiet sobs emanating from his bedroom. He stared at the overflowing sink, a rusty wrench clutched in his calloused hand, the stubborn faucet refusing to yield. It was a metaphor, he thought, for his entire life: leaky faucets, crumbling dreams, and the constant, nagging feeling of inadequacy. Leo, at 32, was a husband to Maya, a vibrant artist whose spirit was slowly dimming, and a father to 8-year-old Lily, a whirlwind of boundless energy and unyielding questions. He worked as a carpenter, a job that once filled him with pride, now feeling like a monotonous grind that barely covered the bills. The apartment, a cramped 2-bedroom, was a constant source of tension. The rent was always late, the walls were paper-thin, and the scent of burnt toast perpetually lingered in the air. Maya's art supplies, once a symbol of their shared passion, now cluttered the living room, a stark reminder of her stalled career. Tonight it was Lily's science fair project, a miniature volcano that had erupted in spectacular fashion, coating the kitchen in red dye and baking soda. Maya, already teetering on the edge, had snapped, "Maya, I can't do this anymore, Leo, this life, it's suffocating me." Leo's heart ached. He knew Maya was struggling, her dreams of opening her own gallery fading with each rejection letter. He knew the weight of their financial burdens was crushing her, the constant worry about bills and Lily's future a heavy cloak. He'd tried to be strong, the stoic husband and father, the rock of the family. But tonight, the leaky faucet, the volcano disaster, and Maya's tears had shattered his facade. He felt like a failure, a man adrift in a sea of responsibilities he couldn't seem to handle. Leo's own childhood wasn't a picture of idyllic family life. His father, a man of few words and even fewer emotions, had worked long hours, leaving Leo and his mother to navigate life on their own. His mother, a woman with a gentle spirit and a hidden sadness, had always encouraged Leo's creativity, but her own dreams had been sacrificed on the altar of practicality. He remembered her whispering stories of her own artistic aspirations, of the paintings she never painted, the sculptures she never created. He'd vowed to himself then, as a wide-eyed boy, that he wouldn't let his dreams wither. He would be different. But life had a way of throwing curveballs. He met Maya in art school, a whirlwind of passion and shared aspirations. They fell in love, their dreams intertwined, their future shimmering with promise. Then came Lily, a beautiful surprise, a bundle of joy that also brought with her a mountain of responsibilities. The art world, unforgiving and competitive, hadn't been kind to Maya. Her unique style, once celebrated, was now deemed too unconventional. Leo's carpentry, once a source of artistic expression, became a means to an end, a way to pay the bills. He found himself trapped in a cycle of work, bills, and sleepless nights. The passion that had once fueled him was replaced by a dull ache of exhaustion. Lily, oblivious to the undercurrents of tension, was a ray of sunshine. She saw the world with unfiltered wonder, her imagination a vibrant tapestry of dragons and fairies. She loved wildflowers, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the grayness of their apartment. One afternoon, Leo found her carefully arranging a bouquet of wildflowers in a chipped vase. "Lily, Daddy, look, they're so pretty, they make the room happy." Her words struck a chord within him. He looked around the cramped apartment, the clutter, the faded paint, the weight of their struggles. He realized that they'd lost sight of the beauty in their lives, the small moments of joy that Lily seemed to find effortlessly. He decided to make a change. He started spending more time with Lily, building elaborate forts out of blankets, reading her fantastical stories, and teaching her the names of the wildflowers she loved. He started helping Maya with her art, setting up a small studio in their bedroom, encouraging her to paint again. He even tried to fix the leaky faucet, this time with Lily's help, her small hands holding the wrench as he guided her. The task, once a symbol of his inadequacy, became a shared moment of laughter and accomplishment. Slowly, things began to change. Maya, inspired by Lily's childlike wonder, started painting again, her art infused with a newfound vibrancy. Leo, encouraged by Maya's renewed passion, started working on his own projects, crafting intricate wooden sculptures in his spare time. They started having family nights, playing board games, watching old movies, and simply talking. They found joy in the small things, the smell of freshly baked cookies, the sound of Lily's laughter, the warmth of the sun on their faces. One day, Maya received an email from a small independent gallery. They were interested in her work. They saw the raw emotion, the unique perspective, the beauty in her art. The news was like a breath of fresh air, a spark of hope in their weary lives. Maya's gallery showing was a success. Her art, once rejected, was now celebrated. Leo's sculptures, displayed alongside Maya's paintings, also garnered attention. The weight of their struggles didn't disappear overnight, but it felt lighter. They had found a way to navigate the challenges, to find beauty in the chaos, to cultivate the wildflowers of their lives. Leo, Maya, and Lily moved to a slightly bigger apartment, one with a small balcony where Lily could grow her own wildflowers. They were still a family facing challenges, but they were a family that had learned to find strength in each other, to embrace the beauty in the ordinary, and to nurture the seeds of hope that bloomed in their hearts. Leo learned that being a good husband and father wasn't about being perfect, but about being present, about showing up, about finding joy in the small moments. Maya learned that her dreams, though deferred, were not dead, and that her art had a power to heal and inspire. Lily learned that even in the midst of chaos, there was always beauty to be found, if you knew where to look. The leaky faucet was eventually fixed, but the lessons it taught them remained. They learned that even in the midst of life's leaks and cracks, there was always room for growth, for beauty, for the blossoming of a future filled with hope. The story ends with Leo, Maya, and Lily on their small balcony, surrounded by wildflowers, their laughter echoing through the warm summer air, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of family. Alright everyone, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.